Picture this. You're sitting at home after a long day at work. You're tired and feeling a bit tensed up. You really want to cheer up and unwind by watching a new anime. But you're quickly overwhelmed by the burden of choosing from the thousands of possible options. You freeze, paralyzed by the inability to choose. Eventually, you become frustrated and give up. In your sorrows, you do something outrageous, like go outside or do some sort of productive work that betters your life. Unacceptable. Well, I guess I'll allow it, but just know I can help you out. Because in reality, there's an almost infinite number of different scenarios where you might not be in the mood for a certain show, and you're not even sure what shows you are in the mood for. So for the purpose of today's video, I want to bring up a few shows that can help cheer you up if you're having a tough time. Let's begin with a show that never failed to put a smile on my face, Spy Family, or Spy X Family as some might say, or the extremely cursed name I heard Giguk mention once before of Spy multiplied by Family. Anyway, the name Spy Family pretty well sums up what you can expect from this show, but I'll do my best to give you the rundown as well. Spy Family quickly introduces us to our main man Lloyd Forger, a master spy who takes on the gargantuan task of keeping the peace between two nations. He wears disguises, he takes out bad guys, and he even looks cool while doing so. But eventually he's forced to take on his most difficult mission yet, being a dad. Well, not literally, but he has to pose as a father to get close to the right people and do what's necessary to keep the peace. And this is where we meet our newest family member and de facto daughter, Anya. Anya is a telepath who frequently uses her mind powers to her advantage. In addition, she's also our comic relief and frequently finds herself in difficult situations that our man Lloyd has to solve on the fly. But her powers and goofy personality can also lead to good things as well, like Lloyd finding his new wife in Yor. Yor is an assassin who's somewhat aloof by nature, but like Lloyd, Yor is in need of a partner for work reasons. And Anya is able to see Yor's true profession of assassin and thinks it'll be fun to have a spy and assassin parent respectively. So she helps the two get together in her own way. And to be fair to Anya here, she's extremely correct, as there's near constant hijinks between the three trying to juggle their new family lives with their secretive jobs and powers. What starts as a family made out of circumstance begins to feel more and more like a real family after all. While there are serious moments that might bring out some emotion in you, overall this show is very happy and wholesome. Anya's antics alone should go a long way towards cheering you up, and Spy Family as a whole is sure to leave a smile on your face. In a similar vein to Spy Family, we have a show like Buddy Daddies. In Buddy Daddies, professional assassin duo Kazuki and Rei go on a mission that changes their lives forever. On one Christmas Eve, they're tasked with the mission of taking down a man hosting a party in a hotel suite. After setting up their disguises and preparing for their infiltration, the mission is interrupted by a young girl named Miri looking for her father, who she doesn't know. This interruption causes the mission to get a bit messy, with Miri being taken hostage by her father, who is also Kazuki and Rei's target. After they take him out, the two figure out what had just happened, and Kazuki convinces Miri that he is actually her father. And now the duo is forced to play parents to Miri and attempt to maintain their jobs as assassins as well. Kazuki is much more open to the role of father early on. He's also the primary caretaker of not only Miri, but of Rei as well. He handles the cooking, cleaning, and general home duties for the trio. And his tragic family past has put him in a position where he takes on the role of father more naturally than his buddy Rei. Rei is woefully unprepared to be a father. He's a shut-in who spends most of his free time playing video games. He doesn't really show many emotions and rarely takes the initiative on household or parenting duties. And while he is heavily reliant on Kazuki, Rei does eventually begin to warm up and take on a little more responsibility with Miri at least. And Miri herself is a vibrant and courageous 4-year-old girl. And while she is definitely naive, she is also cheerful and attaches easily to those around her. In addition, Miri certainly drives the plot forward in many ways as Kazuki and Rei are forced to find out what they should do with her. Do they give her back to her mother, who seems apathetic towards Miri? Do they continue to play the role of her parents, even though it'll be difficult for everyone involved? Buddy Daddies takes a more mature approach to the Spy Family formula of the adopted family. But despite this maturity, the characters and their journey are sure to cheer you up at the end of the day. Maybe rather than the found family trope, you'd prefer to cheer up with a goofy, fun rom-com. And in that case, I might offer up Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. As the name suggests, our main protagonist is frequently toyed with by fellow schoolmate Nagatoro. He goes mostly unnamed for a good deal of the series, just going by Senpai, which is what Nagatoro calls him. He's an introvert who spends a good deal of his time at school alone in the art club. That is, until he meets Nagatoro. Nagatoro's constant and playful teasing start to reveal more traits in Senpai as we see that he's starting to enjoy their unique relationship. He becomes more comfortable around Nagatoro than anyone else, and even begins to tease her back. In contrast to Senpai, Nagatoro is cheerful and energetic. After discovering Senpai, she immediately begins to tease and playfully poke at him. At first appearing to be mean-spirited, it's quickly revealed that she actually cares for Senpai. And just listen to how cute it is when she actually calls him Senpai.
Senpai, 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 senpai とペアルックで浴衣とかキモキモありえないっす。
Pretty early on, Nagatoro becomes very possessive of Senpai and gets outwardly flustered when others interact with him. She plays this off as being an interruption to her teasing, but really she's easily jealous of others interacting with him. Senpai himself starts coming out of his shell and even begins to discover his own feelings for Nagatoro. And on top of this, he begins making friends with the rest of Nagatoro's group as well, which leads to the aforementioned jealousy from Nagatoro. The quirky duo continues to develop as the show goes on, and it's honestly a treat to watch unfold. If that wasn't enough of a power couple for you, maybe give My Dress-Up Darling a chance. Serving as our male protagonist is Gojo. No, not that one. Gojo is a fairly withdrawn young man after a past event affected him to where he hides his passion from his peers. This passion being the creation of Hina dolls. Outside of this hobby, Gojo is solitary and rather submissive when it comes to conflict. One day Gojo is reflecting on how he feels things would be better for everyone if he just wasn't around them, when a change comes literally flying into his life. A young girl in his same class named Marin crashes into his desk and she addresses him by name. After a short conversation, Gojo again reflects on how Marin lives in an entirely different world from him, remarking how it must be nice to live in a world where you're accepted for who you are. Later we see Gojo being submissive yet again as he's handling classroom cleanup alone after letting his other classmates leave. As he's doing so, Marin comes in and helps him, but in doing so, she makes sure to tell Gojo that the people that left him behind weren't leaving because they had something important to do, they were simply taking advantage of him. Some time passes, and eventually the two meet by chance as Gojo's using the school's sewing machine for one of his Hina dolls. Gojo is terrified as he believes Marin will chastise him for his hobby, but she's actually quite happy and asks for his help in making her cosplay outfits, thus beginning their relationship. Marin is extremely outgoing and has many friends. In addition, she has many hobbies, including watching anime, playing video games, and most importantly for Gojo, cosplaying. Since she doesn't quite have the skills herself to create the outfits, Gojo is the perfect solution to her problem. The two bond quickly as they're forced to work closely together to make her cosplays as accurate as possible. They even start to do things beyond the scope of her cosplays together, and their friendship blooms over time. Marin eventually realizes how she feels and things develop even faster, while Gojo still struggles with how he feels and questions himself quite frequently. The journey the two go on in just the first season is really quite refreshing to watch. They have a chemistry that's rarely reached by other shows in any medium, and you'll find yourself enjoying every second. And if by the time you're watching this we have a season 2 or beyond, consider the me making this video very jealous. If you watched my previous video, you've already heard me talk about this show, but the last example I want to give you today is Bocchi the Rock. Our protagonist Bocchi wants to be a famous performer, but she's also terrified of human interaction in any way. She's extremely talented and has been recognized at least anonymously online for her abilities. Through a few chance encounters, Bocchi eventually joins a band with some other girls. She's at first very overwhelmed and can't even perform while being seen by others. But we get to see Bocchi grow and make many strides in her musical journey as well as her personal relationships. Even at her highest development though, we get to see her enjoy some hilarious moments in situations where you get to say things like, "She's just like me for real." Even those social butterflies among us can relate on some level to the comical struggles that Bocchi finds herself in. And I can't praise the comedy enough in this one. And this is helped by the absolutely unbridled creativity that the animators put on display in every single episode. Like seriously, just look at this stuff. In the end, you'll almost certainly find at least one reason to love this show. These are just a few examples of shows you can put on to help cheer you up. I could probably extend this a good deal, but maybe just expect a part 2 at some point in the future. On top of that, I want to give more shows for different emotions as well, so look out for those in the future too. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, a sub or a like goes a long way for me. I'm still just starting in my journey, so your support so far has been honestly awesome. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you there, fellow anime lovers. Bye bye for now.